Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do a November watch list. Every November I like to make a stack of movies that I've never seen. I call that the New to Me November watch list. So today I'm going to show you that watch list and tell you how I came up with it. So stick around. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff and welcome back to my channel, John Doe Juggalo. If this is your first time here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Like my daughter says, it's free and you can always change your mind later. If this is not your first time here, welcome back. This is where you're going to find me discussing my favorite things about movies and music, video games, and the physical medias that surround all of those types of mediums. So please sit back and relax and check out this next video. So yeah, for this year, I wanted to change it up just a little bit. It's still going to be movies that are new to me, that are already in my collection. It just gives me a reason to watch some more of the things that are already here. But this year, I had my wife choose some as well. We've been watching, we watch a lot of movies together anyways, but I wanted this list to be just as much hers as it is mine. And the stipulation this year is I don't really want to over cumbersome myself. I get to this thing where I make me these 31 Halloween movies for horror season or things like that. And then I end up going way overboard. Last year in 2023, I did a 31 days of horror movies and ended up watching 62. So if that tells you anything, I did like 2 a day and that was all horror movies. And so then I turned around and I did this same kind of watch list last year. I've never done a video on it. I just kind of did it for myself. This year I decided I wanted to do a video and kind of show them off. So what we did was we decided to go with only 11 movies. And so I thought, 11 movies, that seems like a pretty good amount. We'll do 11 new movies in the 11th month. And none of them have to be themed around Thanksgiving or Christmas or any of those. It's just 11 movies. I didn't really want to overdo it. And I feel like a lot of times when I start to make up these watch lists, I overdo it. Because I was going to do 31 for Halloween last month and ended up with 58 plus a couple family movies that I watched. So I think I still got right around that 62 movies last month. I'm probably still going to try to do a movie a day. I usually just watch a movie a day. But there may be a day here or there I want to take a break and not watch one. So I didn't want to force myself into 30 more movies this month. And a little less than half keeps it open for me to watch other watch lists that may come along. Some holiday movies per se, if that's what I so please to do. Now, the way that this ended up working out was my wife chose 5 and I chose 5 and then we chose one 3D movie together. We have to watch a 3D movie. I mean, I have 3D movies in this house I haven't seen, and I'm a big 3D guy. I've always really liked 3D and 3D movies. This is actually a 3D TV right here. It's the last big 3D TV I have. It's a 42 inch, and I think I still have the PlayStation TV, and I think that's a 24 inch, if I'm not mistaken. It's still in the box somewhere around here. But I always try to watch at least a 3D movie in my watch list if I can, because I have a lot of them, whether it's a new watch or not a new watch. But I have plenty still here to watch. So we chose just one of those to kind of mix in. Now with our 5 and our 5, she chose 5, I chose 5, and between the 10, there's actually a mixture of 5 of them that are studio releases and 5 that are boutique or boutique adjacent. And what I mean by boutique adjacent is that it's in a studio special line. Like certain studios have their special lines. And that's only because one of the movies didn't quite fit boutique, but it came in what I consider to be a studio's boutique style. So that's kind of the stipulations and how we determined what we were watching this year. So let's go ahead and get right into it now. And we're going to jump back and forth between the twos. We got Winchester. Now, I believe this is like a thriller. Like I said, me nor my wife have either one watched this. We're going to watch new movies together this time. But it's PG-13, so I don't think it can be that scary. I really don't think it's that scary. But it might be. It might be pretty cool. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I got it for like a buck or two thrifting. But it's based on a haunted mansion from what I can gather from there. Inspired by true events, the most haunted house in history, Winchester Mansion. So that's cool. I'm just wondering how the story is around it. We're going to find that out this time. The next on our list is going to be our first boutique. We're going to go with a Kino Lorber, and we're going to go with For Love or Money with Michael J. Fox in it. Love Michael J. Fox. He's one of my favorite actors. As a 90s kid, and my mom being a teenager, young lady in the 80s, we watched a lot of Michael J. Fox in the house growing up. I've seen a lot of his movies, but I haven't seen this one. So we're going to check this out. I got this at Orbit DVD. It was listed for $10, and they had it sitting in a 50% off bin. So I got it for like $5, and it's a nice Kino Lorber. I got this because Tony from Basement Blues suggested that if I was trying to build my Kino library, this was a good one to throw into that library. So thank you, Tony. I can't wait to check it out. Our next one is going back. So, like I said, I think I'm just going to jump studio boutique for the most part. This next one, I got this from, I believe, my buddy Corey. I could be wrong. I got it in the same trip that we were all at in Tennessee, where Tony recommended that movie for me at Orbit. And this movie, I believe it was handed to me from Corey, because I believe Corey over at Wilkie's Movies and Music, I believe he may have upgraded this. Like I said, I could be wrong. I may have gotten it from my buddy Tim. So I'm going to shout them both out. If they watch this and they comment in the comments, please call me out. I can't remember exactly who. But it's called Unsane. And this is supposed to be really good from my understanding. I've heard lots of people gush over this movie. It's a nice Blu-ray. I love Blu-ray movies, obviously, but I think this just got a 4K upgrade recently. It's got that certified fresh Rotten Tomatoes. I know a lot of people don't like that. I don't particularly like it. I dig it when it's on the slipcover and it's like a sticker, because then it gives you the option to peel it off if you want, which I don't take my stickers off slipcovers if I buy them brand new and they have them. I leave them on. To me, that's part of the purchasing of brand new, is that I get all the day one stickers on my stuff. I know, blasphemous, so many people just like to peel them off. But yeah, this is supposed to be pretty good. I can't take that part off, but maybe the movie is actually fresh, so it deserves to be there. So for our next boutique-ish, this is where I kind of cheated. And we've already watched this one. So we're already through the watch list a little bit. We watched this last night. I had a blast with this one. But we don't want to get too far into that, because I may come back and talk about how I liked them or whether I didn't like them. But that's going to be Crawl. And you can't see that that's what it is, because it just has that Paramount Scares logo in the corner. And this is where I kind of decided I was going to maybe cheat a little bit, because this is, to me, this is boutique adjacent. It came in this box right here that you can see, this Paramount Scares box over here in the corner. It was one of the 5 movies in there. to me, when they do box sets like that, that's more, and they have nice sets with like these special slipcovers. To me, that's a boutique adjacent release. That's how I look at those when you get nice box sets like that and studios go a little above and beyond what they would normally do for a movie. But yeah, for anyone looking for the standard, that's what it looks like. And like I said, it's from producer Sam Raimi. I love Sam Raimi. And Alexandra Aja, High Tension, great movie. He's done a handful of other really good ones too. A Hills Have Eyes remake. So I was excited to go into this one. Anyways, so all right, for our next one, we're gonna I guess we're gonna hop back into the spooky season just a little bit with a horror shark movie. I believe this is one that my wife picked, but I definitely want to see it. I'm the one that bought it to begin with, and it's another one of those ones with the fresh certified rotten on there. You know, the darn tomato there. I bought this at a pawn shop in Tennessee. Fast Pawn, check them out. I think they're in Maryville. Man, obviously $4 they had good prices. Now this isn't when I bought it. I think I actually bought this in 2021. So I've had it for a while, but I got it at the pawn shop visiting family out of town, and they had really good prices on a lot of their stuff. You might see a handful of my Blu-rays have this sticker. The sticker's not the easiest to get off. I just kind of leave it because I don't really care too much. I mean, when it goes into my shelf, it's going to go into my shelf like this, and all I'm ever going to see is the spine. I'm never going to see that sticker, so it doesn't bother me. I've had this for about 3 years now, and it hasn't bothered me. But I'm excited to check this out. I feel like I dig Blake Lively in just about everything she's in. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm really bad with names and remembering the movies and stuff that they were in. I just remember faces more so. And a lot of times I'm like, what movie were they in? And then when I figure it out, I'm like, oh, and then they were in this one and this one. So I have a hard time with that stuff, but we're going to say The Shallows is going to be one of our few horror movies. Because, we did a lot of horror last month. I guess Crawl could be horror adjacent, but it was more like an action movie to me. But this will fall kind of in line with Crawl. And heading back over to our boutique. This one just came out on 4K, I believe. I think this was the first time it ever came out on 4K. It was not the first time, I don't believe, that it ever came out on Blu-ray either. I believe it has a studio Blu-ray, but no studio 4K. And that's because it's a Warner Brothers. But this is a Criterion, and that's going to be After Hours, done by Martin Scorsese. Wow. Kind of excited about having this one in the list for the month as a first time watch as well. Look at how pretty that spine is. I know, I'm like the only person in the whole world that cares about the spine colors of Criterions, but that's what I'm mainly seeing. So I love when I see a nice colorful shelf of spines. I mean, who doesn't? But this is supposed to be one of those Martin Scorsese's that's a little bit out there and a little bit different. So, kind of excited to check that out. You guys have to let me know down below what you think about this one, because I know Martin Scorsese-wise, I have only seen a couple of his movies, and so far my favorite is Shutter Island, for reasons that I'm pretty sure I've talked about on here before. But yeah, Shutter Island is my favorite Scorsese. This one might come up pretty close. I don't know. Like I said, we might get back together and talk about these, but this one is the next on our watch list, our next boutique. So going right along into our next studio. Now, what was great about this was, so my wife pulled 5 movies and I pulled 5 movies. I wasn't around when she pulled her 5, and she wasn't around when I pulled my 5, so we're just going to be, intermingling them. It's really cool that she chose this one. Because I just found out the other night that it's directed by one of my favorite, like, actors anyways. And so far, I haven't seen all of his movies that he's directed, but so far I've really dug what he has done. But I pretty much enjoy most of his line of work. His TV shows, even the ones that don't make it more than a season. And that's going to be Zach Braff. He directed this, and I didn't know that. I picked this movie up because it was at McKay's for, I believe, I got the sticker here. It was at McKay's for 95 cents. So you're about to be like, what crappy movie did he get? Well, I don't know. But the sticker inside the case says 95 cents. It has a slipcover. And it has some of my favorite actors in it. And that's going to be Going in Style with Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, and Alan Arkin. I dig all three of these actors. Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman are two of my favorite actors anyways. And then Zach Braff is just one of my favorite actors, directors. Just, it doesn't really matter. I just really dig pretty much anything that Zach Braff's putting his stamp on. I'm usually digging it. And he directed this. I just found that out the other day. This was Zach Braff. So I'm very excited. I'm very happy that this was one that she pulled out for us to watch this time. So the next boutique, some people will probably be so surprised that I've never seen this. But we're going to go with a Vestron. They're boutique. And they're affordable boutique. That's what I like about Vestron. And so far, every movie in their line that I've watched, I've liked. So I feel like they really only work with good movies. And they only do Blu-rays. So there's that. But I love Blu-rays. Like, I have nothing against them. So that's why I'm fine with, like, kind of collecting these. And I am really thinking hardcore about trying to get all the Vestrons. But the one we're going to watch this year for our November watch list is going to be The Gate. Obviously, I've never seen it. It's on my new to me list. But I should have seen this as a kid growing up through the 90s. We watched a lot of horror movies, and this is horror adjacent. And from what I can gather, everybody I know on YouTube, say that it's a gateway into horror. My good friend Garrett over at Born to Be Rad, this is like the movie that he tells every parent to show their kids if they want to ease them into the horror genre. This is the movie that Garrett always talks about. By the way, go check his channel out as well. But yeah, because he's got great taste in movies. And if he's saying this is a good one to kind of get your kids into the horror genre, as you guys know, my kids already watch Chucky and stuff, so I'll probably be watching this with the kids. But I'm having a good time with this stack so far. Like, I'm very intrigued already. So for our next one, we're going to do the 3D before we get down to the last studio and the last boutique. The 3D movie that I chose this time for me and my wife to watch, I believe is a love story. And I believe it's very sci-fi-ish. It's like a sci-fi love story. I always just wanted to watch this in 3D, and I believe I got this one at a flea market for just a couple bucks, and I was very happy to finally get it, because it does have the 3D and the Blu-ray all in one disc, so it works in many, many players throughout my house. But that's going to be Upside Down. Like I said, I believe this is a love story that's like on different dimensions, and there's like 2 different time dimensions or something happening at the same time. I don't really know. I know that I watched the trailer for it years and years ago. It was on another 3D Blu-ray that I put in at the beginning of it, and I was very, very intrigued by it. So I'm very excited to check this one out. And this is the one 3D movie on the list. I'm going to start running out of 3D movies that I've never seen before if I don't start getting more of them at some point. So, but Upside Down. All right, so this next one I got, it's the last studio release, and my wife did pick it out. Like I said, I'm not trying to pick on her or anything like that about only picking studio releases. We don't care about that in this house. We care about watching good movies. And this one looks like a good movie. A lot of people love this guy's films. I can say that for the most part, everything of his that I've seen, I've enjoyed, but I have a major blind spot with his movies, I feel like. Because I just seen one of his movies about a year and a half ago, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and it's one of, like, it's in my top 10 of all-time favorite movies. But the director we're talking about is Christopher Nolan. And the movie that I was talking about was Interstellar. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. Another one of his that I just haven't seen yet, and I picked this up at McKay's, I believe, for about $10, and it came with its slipcover in the works. That's the 4K of Tenet. I have heard nothing but good things about this. Now, for a while, I had this movie on DVD, and I never even got around to watching it. And then I found out from fans of this movie that I would have been doing myself a major disservice watching it on DVD. So yeah, doing myself a major disservice watching it on DVD. I guess, I already got rid of the DVD. Once I got the 4K and it has a Blu-ray in it, I purged the DVD. I don't try to keep too many extras around. But I straight up am not going to do myself a disservice this time. And this is one we're going to watch this month. So the final one for our New to Me November stack, it's like I said, it's just 11 movies. This is number 11. This is a boutique label release, and I've shown it off on the channel recently. I won this from my good buddy John over at Let's Talk Entertainment Media. He was doing it as a member giveaway, and I got lucky enough to win it. And that's going to be the Vinegar Syndrome VSU big box release of Navy SEALs. I've never seen this, but I've heard really good things about this movie, and I decided that this would be a good one to watch this year for New to Me November. It's not a horror movie or any of that stuff, so it'll give me a nice palate. This will be part of that nice palate cleanser. Not that I don't like horror movies, but you need a palate cleanser every once in a while, especially when you go through a month where you watch almost 60 horror movies in a month, So, Navy SEALs. So yeah, we got a stack here. This is our New to Me November stack. This is everything that we plan to watch in November that's here in our room, in our collection, that we've never seen before. I feel like that's a pretty nice stack. If you guys want to let me know down below, should I skip any of these? I mean, I don't think I'm going to now. Is there any of these that anybody is excited for me to watch for the first time? Sound off in the comments down below and let me know. If you've made it all the way through this video, I do appreciate it, as always. I always want to thank everyone for sitting down and listening to me ramble for anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes at a time. I appreciate it. Thank you. It means the world. It really does. Please do all those things that YouTube likes us to do. Hit that like button on this video. That I've noticed that's actually really helping me out quite a bit. Thank you all that do that. Please subscribe. I mean, if you're not subscribed and you're here, I don't really know why you're not subscribed. It's free. And you can always, change your mind later. And if you, are subscribed and you want to see more of my videos and discussions and maybe things that I pick up and bring, I do a lot of haul videos here. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of that stuff. And, like always, I'll see you guys around. Later.